Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esteemed Gentleman podcast for Wednesday, February 8th. I'm your host, Scott Labrie, and joined alongside me, we have all day Eric Deshane.
Hello.
How you doing today, Eric?
Well, it's another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise? Hey, it's pretty warm out today, so can't complain.
Very warm. It's too warm
A little
for
soupy.
February. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of winter left, and this isn't boding too well, but oh well, see.
Yeah, I don't know how weather works. If it's if it's always, if it's nice at the beginning, but it means it's terrible at the end, or if it's just all total random roll of the dice. I don't know.
No, it's I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, so one day I'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents or even your grandparents or anything like that ever keep track of what the weather was each year kind of thing?
Not really. I know Mom does journal, and she does journal a lot too, and does go back every now and then, but nothing mostly more personal journals, not so much with weather stuff like that. But maybe back in the day that was more important. Now with the network, it's just whatever. But yeah, they don't look too much. It's more futurecast, and what's coming up is more important than what was behind, right? So yeah,
True.
Yeah, so. All this moisture is well, will there be all the snow melting? Will there be moisture come spring? That way we can start planting, and stuff like that is more concerning, right? So yeah, that's the biggest thing. So it's going to be dry that come April, May, where you can plant, but it's not going to germinate, then it's not going to grow. So what the hell, right? So so you seed late, and now you're further ahead. Yeah, stuff like that.
That makes sense. Well, it is movie club. Movie club episode. We watched just Banshees or The Banshees?
The Banshees.
The Banshees of Inisherin?
Inisherin, yeah. Irishin, yeah.
A lot of questionable pronunciations in this movie.
Yeah, it's ooh, okay, I'm gonna have a hard time with these names. Thank God I got it open here because oh boy.
Yeah.
The accent is laid on thick in this movie.
Super, super thick. I'm a normal default subtitle. I always have subtitles on all the time. So
yeah,
definitely needed it for this movie.
Definitely needed it for this one. Yeah, I mean it's not the worst thing, but it's obviously English, but it's thick. It's thickly Irish.
Yeah. I didn't really watch any trailers for this. I just kind of saw like little clips here and there, kind of thing of little highlights, I guess, kind of thing. One, I thought it was a comedy because people were saying it was like a comedy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I was expecting it to be a lot more humorous than what it was.
Yeah,
because it's marketed as a black comedy or a tragic comedy. It's okay, well, I was expecting it to be well written.
It's
and
well comedy
acted
in the sense of of Shakespeare, as in nobody dies, therefore it's the comedy, but
it's ironic in certain ways and in a funny way. And it wasn't that. It was much more dramatic than I was expecting it to be. Because I as well didn't look anything up, I didn't see any trailers. I knew of it, and I've watched lots of Colin Farrell's interviews after the fact and other snippets. I forget what was it on? It was Director's Table or Actor's Table. It was him and 8 other actors talking about the movies, and he was talking about this, and so I was oh well, I've heard good reviews. I've heard good things about this one. I really want to see it, and it'd be nominated for Oscars. It was on my radar of I want to watch more of these kind of movies, right? And yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting at all. It was dramatic, yes, and I was expecting that, but dramatically illogical was one of those what the fuck? You had me for the first third, and those last two was really I did not see it going that way, and where it's going, I'm not a big fan of this right now. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was essentially it boils down to Brendan Gleeson's character is just he wants more out of life, so he wants to do better, and he's just tired of hanging out with his nowhere friend. It's I can see this dynamic, and I can see where this story can arc to as they grow as characters, but then it just does a fucking 180, and it just gets worse for no reason. I think no reason, or no for over nothing really, but
Mm-hmm.
like it's illogical. It's like I don't get these anymore. Like, and at the end of it, I was just more sad and confused than I thought I would be, and I just yeah, I don't know.
It was definitely in like an A24 film kind of feel kind
It
of thing
felt
where it
like
was
it,
like,
but A24, yeah, likes to slap on the meaning heavily in their movies.
mm-hmm.
Like at the ending, you're like, okay, yeah, now I get what like that's fucking slapped in your face of what they're trying to say, right? So
Yeah.
this one was like, okay, so are they enemies still at the end? They don't like each other at the end? Okay, well now this one guy has like found almost like enlightenment finally, and he's happy with himself. Well, the one guy has nothing and is broken down to an angry mess. Like no one got ahead here, but it's yeah, I don't know, just bothered me more than it should have. But yeah.
Yeah. I like to think I'm a smart, a smart guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of reading into this a little bit. So I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? I'm just gonna go fucking do it. YouTube, YouTube. What does this movie mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I watched 3 fucking separate videos, and they all had 3 different takes. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Like,
as well. I'd like to think of myself as a well learned and a knowledgeable person. And like after watching this movie, I'm like, I don't see this, and I'm upset and mad with myself because I thought I would see what the message is here, and at the end of it, I don't see it, and I feel like a fucking idiot. It felt like watching the fucking menu. It's like, God damn it! Like, there's more to it than this, and I still don't see it. Am I the idiot?
mm,
Is it me, or is it like what it's supposed to be? But yeah, like I know it's an art medium and it's supposed to be saying something about things, but like when I don't see it, I feel like a real idiot.
right.
Yeah, yeah. That's what bugged me the most after watching it. Is like all out of all this, all I saw was 2 grown men acting like children over something that, if it's the whole fact like, oh, he's dull. I don't like him. He's dull, so I don't want to be friends with him anymore. It's like I can see that, I get it, but like
Mm-hmm.
how you're doing this, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But no, it's yeah, it's really bugged me.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad now that I didn't
Hmm.
reach out to Cameron for his review. Maybe he
Hmm.
could have shed some more light on this because he was
Yeah,
really up on this
he
movie.
was
But
up on it, and yeah, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I really want to watch it. Really, like, I've heard good things, and I want to watch these more dramatic movies. And that's 2 now I've watched in the last few months and a bit. This and the menu was like, I've heard good things. I want to really see this. I want to understand this. And I'm like, after the end of watching it, I just don't fucking see it. Like,
mm-hmm.
it's not what I thought it was, and it it went over my head. That's how I'll say it. Yeah.
I kind of came away with this one like the same kind of feeling I had when I watched Nomadland,
Mm.
where it's just like yeah, I kind of
Hmm.
get what they're saying.
Hmm.
Like like technically wise, like the cinematography, like everything,
Oh.
everything looks beautiful, all this stuff.
Gorgeous,
It's like that's
like
just.
gorgeous scenes, gorgeous shots.
Mm-hmm.
Everything felt there. Like it felt set in the times. Like it doesn't say it on there, but I looked at it. It was 1923, so it was like 100 years ago in off the island of Ireland. It's like, yeah, okay, this is. It looks awesome. Like I almost want to be there and visit it. Right? This looks so cool. But after
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay,
Yeah, it's just
mm.
it's very slow moving.
Yes,
There's not a lot happens in the movie besides just like I don't want to talk to you anymore. Next day, well, I'm gonna talk to you. Like I don't want to.
yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
don't want
talk
to be
to you.
friends with you anymore because you're a dullard.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, well, I get that, and you want to spend the rest of your life composing music, and I want to be known for something before I die.
Mm-hmm.
I get where he's coming from. Like, I understand. I follow along on both these guys, and now we're on a journey to see them grow as people and become better for themselves. When instead I feel they go backwards. Like the threat of like, if you don't stop talking to me, I will cut off my fingers. I will worsen my life
Yeah.
because you won't leave me alone. It's like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you, man? Like,
Man,
yeah, and
when he was doing that, I was just a bit like
yeah,
I was for me, I was like I would just go to his house and be like hand him the shears. I'm like, do them all, do
do
it,
it.
bitch.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's where I thought it was going too. It was like he's not gonna do it. Like he's gonna call his bluff, and he'll do it out of spite and be like, "Oh, what the fuck did I do this for?" And now I'm fucked. And that's where, like, yeah, do something with it, right? But no, it snowballs even worse when he cuts all five fucking off, and
He
like,
doesn't
well,
even
now
like take time to bandage him either. He's just like
no, he
fucking
just
walking
walks
around while
down and goes to the
bleeding
pub.
still. Like,
And then you see him like hours, like I'm assuming hours later, but you see his next scene, you see him at the pub, been drinking with no bandage on his hand, just like punches the guy still. And I'm like, you would have lost a lot of blood, as if you're just like nonchalantly talking to people and just
yeah,
being social still. Like, put shit on that stuff. Like, fucking hell. Yeah.
yeah. Um, Yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean,
It was
it's like I
weird.
don't want to like be like this is an artsy fartsy movie, but it is kind of an artsy
It
fartsy
is.
movie.
It is very much an artsy movie, and I feel after what I think Colin Farrell had like a big part in like getting this movie produced and everything else. So like I think for him it was very much to to be more like serious as an actor, right? Those
Mm-hmm.
kind of movies where it's like, yeah, it's not going to make the big bucks. It's not going to be. It's meant to win awards and just be shown as like their range as actors, and that's what it felt like. It's meant for the critics, and it's going to go over a lot of heads of the average film goer, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a tough. It's like this is a tough one to recommend for me
Yeah,
almost.
no,
Yeah.
it's definitely like oh, this is a higher Oscar
Mm-hmm.
type of where it's like
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, if you're I have a film degree and I'm
Yeah.
you know
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
kind
like
of thing.
I study film theory and yeah, I study writing for cinematography. It's like, yeah, well, then this is like up that alley because like you're looking into those kind of details and it's like the average person is like, yeah, they're not gonna this, and that's yeah, and that's what sucks about it because I love seeing movies, but like movies like this, it's like I recommend someone to watch it because like
It's
unless
like
you.
the Grapes of Wrath, like reading that in school, where it's like,
Mm,
you can tell it's like there's a lot of subtext and blah blah blah, and this is like, oh yes, I'm sure this is, there's
mm-hmm.
a reason why it's get taught all the time. It's like it doesn't, man, it's still a fucking boring book, like
Yeah,
like
it
kind of thing where
still
it's
didn't
like,
change. Doesn't change what it is. Yeah.
and if you can get more out of it and you can enjoy that kind of stuff, more power to you. But it's just not my type
No.
cup of tea. That's what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
watching Nomadland, where it's like, yeah, I'm watching this, everything's beautiful, and I get their message here of like,
Hmm.
depression, not moving on, all sorts of stuff. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, but then this woman just like takes a diarrhea dump in a bucket in the back of her van, so
Yeah.
it's just like,
It's like,
it's
okay.
just,
Yeah. Hmm.
what's the meaning behind that?
Hmm.
What's the meaning behind the fucking cop sitting there naked in his fucking chair with
Hmm.
his dick
Just,
hanging
just,
out?
just to show it, right? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't
Yeah.
need that. you know, it's like is that supposed to be the comedy part? I don't
Yeah,
know.
and like at first I was all on board with this, like, and there are a few moments where I did kind of snicker and giggle a lot, and a few funny things here and there, but they were very few and far between, and I just got sadder and sadder as I kept watching the movie. It's
hmm
like, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Hmm.
what can you say? I don't
Yeah,
think it's gonna win an Oscar. I don't think.
it's nominated, which I think is probably
I
a
think
high praise for it, but
yeah.
like the competition this year is pretty thick, so it's one of the few years where there's actually a lot of movies that people have seen and will and are reviewing well. So yeah.
hmm
I
I think
think yeah.
the favorite
Let's
I
see
think
here.
is Fablemans, which is that Steven Spielberg movie
Hmm.
that is about himself, I think, or something like that. I haven't
Yeah, it's
really.
like a dramatized. Yeah. So, yeah. Brendan Gleeson. Yeah, because Gleeson. Oh yeah, he's nominated as a main actor. I thought it'd be supporting actor. Brendan Gleeson for Banshees and Barry Coogan. Oh wow. Hmm. What was
Um,
that?
Barry.
Oh yeah, that was Dominic.
Yeah. He,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
is the third movie I've seen him be like a bit of a slow character in. And
Yeah.
he like I don't know why he keeps getting cast as that type of character, but
The
he's
multiple
like that
person.
in what's it called? The Nolan movie. Um
Tenant or Trinit or no?
No, the World War II one with the
Oh, and
different timelines. Fuck, what's it called? I have to
different
look it up.
timelines.
Yeah,
I
where it's like all at different times. The World War II one, he's like in the boat and shit.
Oh, Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the slow kid on on the
Mm-hmm.
boat and that. He's slow in this. Then he's like also in the Green Knight where he's also kind of
Yeah,
seems
this
kind of
tagline is
messed up.
Scavenger and Green Knight. Yeah,
So
only thing else I've seen him in is Eternals and he's just the
the guy,
regular dude with like mind powers. It's like, oh cool, like he's just himself.
he's
Yeah.
supposed to be the Joker for
He
men.
was going to be the Joker.
Yeah.
That's been changed now.
Oh really?
Yeah. I thought, yeah, from if the sequel's going to be planned out, you never know with DC now, but
True.
I think he was, yeah. From what I understood, he was being changed out for somebody else.
Mm.
But his cameo in the Batman was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's two actors out of this movie, which I felt was, and Dominic was an okay character, but like,
Sure.
is it not? Is he worthy of an Academy Award? I don't know about that. And same with
The Academy
Gollum.
loves when you're playing somebody simple, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Simple Jack. That's the rule.
As
As long as you don't go full retard.
Don't go full retard. Exactly. Yeah. I would think. No, it's not nominated for cinematography. I thought that'd be on there too as well. Because that was the one thing I will say. The one absolute positive thing is just how fucking beautiful this movie was.
Mm-hmm.
It was so pretty to look at and see, and just makes you want to go there.
Exactly. It's like, man, I don't want to move to Ireland. Then you're like looking at all these like shitty huts and like stuff.
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
it's
Like,
1920,
there ain't no
1923,
internet
right?
on the fucking island.
Yeah, probably is now, but 1923, I don't think so. No.
That was another thing. I thought it was a present day thing. I don't know.
I thought at first too, but I'm like, this clothing, like a thatch roof, and like about 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay, what? Not saying it. I have to look it up here. What time is it? Then they talk about the Civil War. I'm like, oh, it must be in the 20s or 30s, and yeah, it's 1923s. Okay. Because yeah, so I saw a thatch roof on the main house. I'm like, yeah, this can't be modern times. Yeah.
See, this movie was an allegory for the Civil War as neighbors suddenly become enemies.
Is that one of the things for
That's
it?
one of them. That's one of the
God.
things.
That sounds like even more pretentious. Like, okay, like, dude, calm
And the
down.
cutting off his fingers is how they like sacrificed 6 counties for peace and stuff.
That's so fucking pretentious. Wow. That's looking really into it. Like that. Wow, yeah.
And then another one said that the island was like kind of like purgatory, and I was like,
that's what I was
kinda.
thinking too as well. Yeah. Like the end scene where they're on the beach and like it, I thought it was like them meeting up on like in heaven because he stayed in the house when it caught on fire and he ended himself at the after doing so or something. So it was them like at the end, but it's just like, oh, it's just normal. Okay, well, whatever. So
One of them said that he was actually dead at the end because there was no footprints on the sand, and I was like, I don't know.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's another one I saw too on TikTok. It's like, nah, I think that's even just could be where it was, but
He could have been staying there for a while. You never know.
Never know. Yeah. Oh, you mean yeah? Colin was just standing there, right? So.
Yeah. But I think he must have got it because that chair was outside, and that was like I think the chair that was inside.
I thought so too. Yeah.
So,
or at least but
yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron, write in. Let me know what are we missing here. Educate us.
Stupid. Educate us. Yes, you are a former teacher. Educate us, please. No, it's I feel silly for not seeing a lot of stuff in front of me. Yeah, that's how I feel after watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. That's who I'm pulling for on the Oscars.
It's not nominated for Best Picture. Oh, it is. Sorry, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Sorry, yeah.
I doubt it's gonna win, but
that's a hard one to pass to beat, right? So, I think. I mean, Maybe.
Hey, the one thing that Top Gun Maverick has going for it is like, hey, we literally saved movie theaters,
That's
so
true. That
fucking
is
give us our praise.
very true. Do I want Tom Cruise to win an Academy Award? Kind of not, but yeah. I think this could be one of those surprise hits, man.
You never know.
You never know. It just takes home everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Feeblemans. That's the one you're talking about, right? With yeah. See that one, another one that I've never really heard of, right? So, based on a true story of Steven Spielberg's childhood growing up as an aspiring filmmaker. Oh, so it's just is he directing it too?
I think so.
Yeah, oh my god, he is.
Hey, man. Who else to tell your own story but yourself?
I guess. Yeah, I mean it's
like this definitely happened.
it is definitely happening. It worked out exactly this way. Yeah, it's fudging what's real, what's real and what's true. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that one's gonna win because Hollywood's just up their own ass. Where it's like we love like biopics about famous people or like anything that has to do with like old time Hollywood and like the
yeah, that's just there's anything they can look back on themselves and be like, oh, look how good we are. Look how we are. It's like, shut up. Like, yeah.
It's like what's it called? What was that movie called? About the Mank with Gary Oldman about the writing of Citizen Kane or whatever. Like that got nominated, and I watched that movie, and I was like, "Man, this is
this is called Mank."
Yeah, it's like fucking that is a slog to get through as well.
Yeah, and that one won. Didn't that win?
It might have won some actor award maybe or something, but like all in black and white, and yeah, it's rough.
It won cinematography and production, but it didn't win best picture.
Yeah, it's a rough one. Well, what else is new?
Not much. After watching this, I'm like, oh god, what? I don't know how I feel. Like I do something that's to kind of cheer me up, so I just like put on some Game Grumps background noise and just painted a bunch of shit last night because I needed something to put my spirits up. Because god damn it, I just feel sad and depressed.
Right.
Damn this movie. Yeah.
The other thing that kind of annoyed me was like I was gonna watch the new episode of Last of Us last night, and then I forgot we were supposed to watch that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, now I gotta watch this movie. Better be good."
Well, yeah, I'm like, "Oh, it was interesting." Like, I can watch it. I'm like, "Yeah, we talked about it last week. I watched it. Oh yeah, right. Shit." Yeah.
So, no, we'll see. I think tonight. Have you watched the new episode of Last of Us?
I haven't watched the new one yet. So it's not episode 4 yet. No. But 5's coming out on Friday. It's gonna come out early,
right?
So I might binge Thursday night 4 and then 5 before we go out, just to watch 5 and Vox Machina. But yeah, so that's right because the Super Bowl this weekend, Super Bowl Sunday, so coming out early.
Who you got? The Chiefs?
Philly's gonna pull it out.
You think so?
I think so. Just watch. Yeah. They'll make some bullshit calls against Kansas. I'll lose their shit, and Philly will sneak a win at the last minute or two. Because that was their thing with when they won, how like the bullshit ref calls were gonna be. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be they're calling more shit now, so it's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Kansas City's gonna win. They want Patrick Mahomes to be the new Tom Brady.
Oh, right. And speaking of All-Stars, Irving, Kyrie Irving is going through some drama there. Yeah,
and he got demanded a trade because NBA trade deadline is Thursday, so they shipped him off to Dallas, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, man, that whole from 2019 to now of that Brooklyn Nets team of like, hey man, we're gonna make a new super team here, and then 2019 that happens, and like Kevin Durant had a torn Achilles, so he missed that whole entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, then like the pandemic hit in the 2020 part. So then there's the bubble part, but then after that there was, had to get vaccinated. Where Kyrie Irving was like, "I'm not getting vaccinated," so then he couldn't play any home games because New York, you have to be vaccinated to play, and same with like Canada or California. So then they traded like the farm for James Harden to get like all three of them.
Yeah.
And then playoff time, it looked like they were pretty good, but then a couple of them got injured. So then the year after, it was like same shit. And then like James Harden was like, "All right, I'm fucking tired of this bullshit. Get me out of here." So he got traded. And then yeah, it's just been a mess. I'm like, I can't wait for this 30 for 30 documentary to come out.
I know.
In like 5 years, 10 years time. I don't know. It's gonna be great. Everybody's like, "Fuck Kyrie Irving."
Oh, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be like, this guy is a fucking menace. Like, what an absolute douchebag.
Not to mention
like,
the anti-Semite stuff he was doing this year.
Oh my god!
Which, like, after he got traded to Dallas, he like deleted his apology from his Instagram. It's like, fuck, man,
fuck, man. Like, the ego and on some of these guys, man. Like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
For the shit he's pulled, it's like anybody would like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're waste of money. Like, fucking hell. Yeah.
He wants 4 years, $200 million because his contract's up next year.
And he's done fuck all to prove it. I think
yeah,
it's like, what the fuck?
I think he's gonna find the harsh reality that there's not a lot of teams willing to pay that much money for him because,
yeah, man, attitude's the big deal of it now, and yeah, it's.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then the Raptors, all their players are basically swirling around NBA trade rumors, so we'll see what happens if they blow up the team or if they trade one or two guys. I don't know. Something needs to happen, I think, because this year was major disappointment for some reason. So things just ain't gelling over there. You gotta shake it up. Well, that'll do it, I guess, for this podcast. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share with friend. If you're listening on a podcast service, leave us a rating, subscribe as well. Head over to our Facebook page. Like the page, you can submit a question for Ask Us Anything, which we do at the start of every month. And then if you watched Banshees of Inisherin, if you want to leave your review as well, we can read them next week. That's fine.
Absolutely, yeah. Love to hear more about what people think of that movie.
Yeah, and that'll be it. We'll be back here next week, talk about some other stuff. And I'll do it. Adios. Goodbye.
See yas.